Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear student of third prep, we are going to solve the questions of Egyptian Knowledge Bank. We have today the third part of our lesson. We have oxidation and reduction reaction. We have different questions and very important one. Let's start with the first question today. Okay, we have different questions and you must concentrate with us. Okay, let's start. We will have the first question here that we have chlorine atom make a reaction with two sodium atoms that giving the compound what? Sodium chloride. Okay, so we have here two elements, sodium atoms. Okay, so sodium here make oxidation and losing electrons change into positive ion, so the number of electrons will be decreased, or as general all metals we have that making what? Making oxidation process, and all nonmetals as we have chlorine make a reduction by gaining electrons, so the substance here will be oxidizing substance or oxidizing agent, and sodium will be reducing agent, so it will be oxidation, it will make oxidation or oxidized. So which chemical species is oxidized in the reaction, which one make oxidation here, will be sodium atom, and it will change into sodium ion by losing electron at the end of reaction and forming the compound sodium chloride NaCl. And also we have chlorine that species reduced in the end of reaction, forming by gaining electrons, forming negative ion and forming also the compound sodium chloride. Okay, it is the first question and I think it's easy. Let's going to another one, question 2. Okay, we have question 2 says, what is the chemical process that involves an atom gaining one or more electrons known as? Okay, we said when we lose electrons we make oxidation process, and the substance will be what? Reducing agent. And also when we make gaining electrons we have here reduction process, and the chemical process here will be what? Will be reduction process, and the substance that make the reduction will we calling it what? Oxidizing agent or oxidizing factor. Okay, let's going to question 3. Okay, we have question 3 says that what is the name of the chemical process in which the percentage of oxygen in a substance increase? Okay, what happened when we make oxidation? Oxidation means the percentage or the amount of oxygen increases, so we have the oxidization process here. So we have oxidization, that is the amount of or percentage of oxygen increase, and also the percentage of hydrogen decreases. Opposite to it we have the reduction process, in which the percentage of hydrogen increases, and opposite to it percentage of oxygen what? Decreases. Okay, let's go on to question 4. Question 4 says that fill in the blank. If during the course of chemical reaction there is an increase in the percentage of hydrogen in the substance, okay, then the substance is said to have been what? When we have increase in the oxygen, so increase in the hydrogen, so decrease happening in the oxygen percentage inside the substance, so the substance will be what? Or have been reduced. The substance have been reduced, it means it make oxidation process, it make oxidation process, or the percentage of what? Substance have been reduced, that make increase in the what? Increase in the amount of hydrogen and decrease in the amount of oxygen. Okay, let's going to question 5. Question 5 says that which of the following descriptions can be used for an oxidizing agent? Okay, we have oxidizing agent or oxidizing factor. We have loses electrons. We said oxidizing agent that make a reduction. Okay, when we make a reduction, we gaining electrons, we increase in the amount of hydrogen and decrease in the amount of oxygen or percentage, or we remove oxygen and also we take hydrogen from the reaction. Okay, so we have here the choices. We have loses electrons, no. Second one, gain electrons, yes, we have gaining electrons. Donates oxygen, yes, it will remove the oxygen from the substance. So we have 2 and 3 here. The fourth one, removes hydrogen, yes, we remove hydrogen from the reaction. And donates hydrogen or removing oxygen. Okay, we have 3 right answers, 2, 3 and 4. We gain electrons, donate oxygen and removes hydrogen in the oxidizing agent, so it will make a reduction process. Okay, let's go into question 6. Question 6 says that which of the following statement about oxidization and reduction is correct? Okay, what happened to this reaction? We have choices. Oxidization can happen independently of reduction. Okay, when we make a oxidation or oxidization, we opposite to it at the same time we make reduction. So oxidization happens before reduction, the second one. The third one, here we have oxidization and reduction happen concurrently. Concurrently means at the same time or at the same behavior inside the reaction. When this happen, opposite to it happen at the same time. So they are opposite, or concurrently means that they are occur at the same time with opposite action to each other. We have the last choice. We have reduction happen before oxidation, no. So the right answer will be letter C. So oxidation, it's very important question and inside the student book. Okay, we have oxidization and reduction happen concurrently, means they are opposite to each other and what and happen at the same time of reaction. Okay, let's go into question 7. Question 7 says that which of the following diagrams show chlorine ion? Chlorine ion formed when an atom is reduced. When the atom of chlorine is reduced means the number of electrons increases. So we have chlorine atom has 17 electrons. If we compare it, we will have the chlorine ion that gains 1 electron and its outer energy level will contain 8 electrons. So we have electronic configuration 288, and we have here the first one will be the atom, the second one will be here the chlorine ion. Okay, I think it's easy. You have to count all the electrons in the outer energy level to reach the ion that we have in the question. Okay, let's go into question 8. Question 8 says that consider the reaction of sodium with chlorine. We have sodium, 2 atoms of sodium reacts with 1 molecule of chlorine, that giving 2 molecules of sodium chloride. Okay, we have the reaction here. So we have sodium atom, 2 atoms with no positive or negative inside. We have positive sodium atom with positive and small in size, and the negative sodium ion, we have big size inside it. We have negative electron that will be with the small, what, small blue one. Okay, we have the first choice, we have here the negative, which one of the following particle diagram correctly shows what happens to the sodium atoms in the reaction. Okay, we wanted to know what happened in the sodium. Sodium, here we have two atoms. So which one will have atoms? We have B and D. They have what? They have two atoms of sodium. Okay, what happened to the sodium atom? It will lose electron. So it will change into positive sodium ion. So we have here gain electron? No. So the right answer will be B. We have here sodium atoms gain, each one lose one electron and becomes positive ion, and we have at the end of reaction two electrons that changes or transferring to chlorine atom or chlorine molecules. So we have the right answer will be the letter B. Okay, let's go into question 9. Question 9 says that consider the following equation. Mg as a solid, magnesium reacts with copper sulfate, CuSO4, that giving magnesium sulfate, MgSO4, and at the end of reaction we have copper as a solid, percepted with a reddish brown percepted. Okay, simple substitution reaction where a more active metal replaces another one, involve oxidation and reduction. Also, in the equation, magnesium displaces copper. Which of the following statement correctly explains the oxidation and reductions occurring in the reaction? Okay, we have here the more active replace the less one. So we have one that changes into positive ion, which is magnesium by losing electrons, and another one gaining electrons, which is copper, and evolves at the end of reaction as a percepted. So we have the choices here. Magnesium is acting as an oxidizing agent. Magnesium adds magnesium atoms turning into magnesium ion is oxidation. Copper ions lose electrons. Copper ions turning into copper atoms is oxidation. And also we have the last one here. Magnesium atoms turns into magnesium ion is reduction. Okay, so we have the right answer here will be magnesium atoms turning into magnesium ion. It will be oxidation. Okay, oxidation means lose electrons. So magnesium here, when make a reaction, it lose two electrons that giving to sulfur or sulfate ion here, sulfate group SO4, and making the compound MgSO4. So we have here oxidation happen to magnesium and reduction happen to what? To copper, and evolved at the end of reaction as percepted. Okay, let's go into the last question of our group today. We have question 10. Question 10 says that a teacher demonstrate the reduction of copper to oxide. Okay, we have copper to oxide. It will make a reduction using 2 gram of copper oxide. We have 2 gram of copper oxide, and we make a reduction. After the experiment is finished, the teacher reweighted the chemicals in the reduction tube. What is the mass of solid chemicals? We have here the solid what? The solid copper to oxide. What happened to copper? Copper make a reduction, and the amount of oxidation, amount of oxygen here will be decreased or removed. So it will be less in mass, or when we make a reaction here, so by decreasing or by removing oxygen and changing into copper only, we make a reduction. We have copper only alone, and oxygen removes away, forming water, and we getting also here we getting copper alone. So it will be decrease in the mass, so the mass will be less than that we have at the beginning of reaction, so we will have what? We will have less mass of than 2 gram of copper oxide. It will be any mass, it is not the problem, but we have the mass less b will be what will be less than 2 gram of copper oxide. Okay, this is the last question of our groups today. I hope you understand every point. Thanks for joining. I hope you understand every question. Okay, you can join and contact us with any way of communication. Okay, thank you for joining and good luck.